Welcoming you to the Tuesday edition of Primetime News. I'm Michael Madimba. Leading tonight's bulletin. President Dr. Hage Geingob earlier today departed for the Democratic Republic of the Congo, where he'll be attending the 42nd Ordinary SADC Heads of State and Government Summit in Kinshasa. Lydia Pituri gives us our first report. A statement issued by the Office of the Presidency earlier today said Geingob will join other heads of state to convene the two-day summit under the theme Promoting Industrialization through Agro-Processing, Mineral Beneficiation and Regional Value Chains for Inclusive and Resilient Economic Growth. It noted that Geingob will relinquish the position of Deputy Chairperson of the SADC Organ on Politics, Defense and Security Corporation, whilst Malawian leader Lazarus Chakwera will hand over the SADC chair to the incoming chair, President Felix Tshisekedi of the DRC. Equally, Geingob also provided advice and counsel to President Azali Assoumani of the Union of the Comoros at a time when the country faced political uncertainty ahead of the elections of 2019, the statement said. It added, the summit is responsible for the overall policy direction and control of functions of the SADC community, ultimately making it the policy-making institution of SADC, and is held annually by heads of state and government from the 16 SADC member states. Geingob will return from the DRC on 18 August 2022. Reporting for Primetime News, I'm Michael Madimba. The city of Windhoek has revealed that 93.9% of the 17,487 home seekers on the city's housing waiting list earn below 8,000 Namibian dollars per month. Linia Dishina gives us the details.
A document containing council's minutes for a meeting held on the 10th of August indicated that 16,425 people on the waiting list earn below 8,000 Namibian dollars, while 791 earn between 8,000 and 15,000 Namibian dollars, 193 earn between 15,000 and 25,000 Namibian dollars, and only 78 earn above 25,000 Namibian dollars. It said 88% of the prospective purchasers have been on the waiting list for more than 15 years, and that the number of people seeking housing opportunities by way of registration on the waiting list for land decreased between 2015 and 2022. The document further revealed that between 2000 and 2004, 4,514 people were on the waiting list, while between 2005 and 2009, 4,828 people registered for housing. Between 2010 and 2015, a total of 5,996 also sought housing, with only 2,149 registered from 2015 and 2022. It read, in an effort to meet the ever-growing need for land and housing, the city of Windhoek availed 4.7 million Namibian dollars to build 8 3-bedroom houses under the recently approved pilot concept affordable program aimed at providing affordable houses to first-time buyers on the waiting list and the waiting list for those who registered to list municipal houses.
Now, Kenyans earlier today were braced for a potential period of uncertainty after William Ruto was proclaimed winner of the hard-fought presidential election, but his opponents cried foul. Here's the rest of the story.
All eyes were on defeated rival Raila Odinga, who failed at his 5th step at the presidency but has yet to make any public comments about the outcome of the August 9th election. After an anxious days-long wait for results, the 55-year-old Ruto was declared president-elect on Monday with a narrow victory over Odinga, the veteran opposition leader who stood with the backing of the ruling party following a stunning shift in political alliances. The aftermath of the largely peaceful vote will be keenly watched as a test of democratic maturity in the Eastern African powerhouse, where previous elections have been marred by claims of rigging and bloodshed. The Standard declared Ruto the 5th, as he will become Kenya's 5th president since independence from colonial power Britain in 1963. On the campaign trail, both Odinga and Ruto had pledged to deal with any disputes in court rather than on the streets.
On to our next story. The World Health Organization, which is looking to rename monkeypox, today called for help from the public in coming up with a less stigmatizing designation for the fast-spreading disease. The health agency has for weeks voiced concern about the name of the disease that emerged onto the global stage in May. Experts warned that the name can be stigmatizing to the primates it was named after, but who play little role in its spread, and to the African continent that the animals are often associated with. Recently in Brazil, for instance, there have been reported cases of people attacking monkeys over disease fears. WHO spokeswoman Fadela Kaib told reporters in Geneva that human monkeypox was given its name before current best practices in naming diseases. She added that they really want to find a name that is not stigmatizing, and the consultation is now open to everyone through a dedicated website. The UN Health Agency announced last week that a group of experts it had convened had already agreed on new names for monkeypox virus variants, or clades. Up until now, the two main variants have been named after the geographic regions where they were known to circulate, the Congo Basin and West Africa. Reporting for Primetime News, I'm Michael Madimba. When we return, Green Hydrogen Conference reveals commitment timeframe. In tonight's Primetime B segment, we commence with the Green Hydrogen Conference currently underway in the capital, where it was announced that Namibia will have its first hydrogen production pilot and gas station in Walvis Bay by the end of 2023. Lydia Pituri produced this insert.
We thank the Namibian government and also the BMBF to put trust in our project to actually bring the first hydrogen production pilot project or plant and refueling station to Namibia. We really believe this will kickstart, and together with our fellow projects and associated projects will act as a catalyst to bring a new, exciting and very significant industry to Namibia, fully in line with our purpose of creating a future and enhancing life. It will be up and running end of 2023. It's PV solar. It is a 5 megawatt electrolyzer, it is a refueling station, and it is a training center. The hydrogen that we produce there will actually act as an enabler and will power the related projects in our partner projects, in the port sector, in the transport sector, be it rail and road, and also within the mining sector. So all these projects are really interlinked and feed off each other.
With rising food inflation unabated, Namibians are increasingly finding it difficult to put a meal on their table. In light of this, Capricorn Foundation has pledged 300,000 Namibian dollars towards the start of the mass food gardening project planned by Christ's Hope. Shelva Wills compiled the story.
The contribution will assist children and families served by the organization at 3 of its 10 care points to have access to nutritious, low-cost fruits and vegetables. With approximately 58% of Namibians experiencing moderate or severe food insecurity, according to the United Nations Food and Agriculture Organization report, organizations such as the Christ Hope Namibia are looking into alternative ways to ensure orphaned and vulnerable children impacted by HIV and AIDS and poverty do not go hungry at their centers. Hanani Turner, country team leader at Christ Hope International Namibia, told this agency on Monday that Christ Hope team and the center staff will support the Okahanja Community Garden, and the children at the center will maintain it with the staff. Furthermore, 10 low-income families have been identified to participate in the pilot project, which will provide training and tools. Turner said the organization will help them start their own gardens and that the Ministry of Agriculture, Water and Forestry has agreed to provide discounted water that will be trapped in and used through irrigation pipelines.
That concludes the talk segment. I'm Michael Madimba. Sport Planet is up next, but first, the economics roundup followed by the weather forecast.
Good evening, I'm Joy Gosses with tonight's sport update. Liverpool manager Jurgen Klopp admits Darwin Núñez will have plenty of time to learn from his red card for headbutting Crystal Palace defender Joachim Andersen in the 1-1 Premier League draw at Anfield. The Uruguay international, who arrived in the summer for a potential club record £85 million fee, was dismissed early in the second half for flooring the Eagles centre-back after the two had tangled with each other all night. Klopp pointed to the provocation the striker had received, but accepted there were no excuses for his reaction and the 3-match ban he will now serve. Missing matches against Manchester United, Bournemouth and Newcastle will give the 23-year-old the opportunity for reflection. On to La Liga. Alvaro Morata struck twice to secure Atletico Madrid a 3-0 victory at Getafe in their opening game of the La Liga season on Monday. Morata, who has returned to Atletico after 2 years on loan with Juventus, scored a goal in each half before Antoine Griezmann wrapped up the points. João Felix played a key role by setting up all 3 goals, the first of which Morata swept home from the edge of the box on 15 minutes. Stand by for your sports roundup. With the sports news, we have come to the end of tonight's edition of Primetime News. As always, thank you for watching. If you are new to this channel, do subscribe, like, share and press the notifications bell to stay posted on the latest happenings locally and globally. Catch us tomorrow for another edition of Primetime News. From myself, Joy Gosses, and the entire production crew, it's good night.